Hey guys, JPals here. If you were asked to list out some of the core tenets of Pokemon, what would you say? If I had to imagine, collecting and raising Pokemon, trading with friends, and exploring a new region would rank pretty highly. Not too far behind those would be the structural things, such as the Pokedex and the topic of today's video, the Pokemon gyms. Being in the games from a get-go while skipping out on Generation 7, the Pokemon gyms have served as a replacement of sorts for what would traditionally be a regular boss fight in an RPG. A test to see if you can handle a more difficult than normal opponent while adapting to different tactics. Gym battles softball it pretty hard most of the time, but today we're going to be looking at how we get from point A to point B and how to improve a process to make each gym much more impressive. Let's talk about how to improve each gym, but before we do, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and remember to leave a comment at the end of a video. Think of it like good restaurant press. The more good reviews, great kitchen performances, and great server performances roll in, the more people will turn out to that restaurant. I don't exactly cook food here, but you get it. Tell the algorithm. Now, on to the video. Before we can get into how to improve the gyms, we first need to take a look at where we've come from. Let's start with what we saw in Generations 1 through 6, as well as Generation 8, a style I'd like to call the maze. Pretty simplistic in style, the maze allows players to generally move through the gym in a couple different ways before getting to the gym leader. This may come in the form of an actual mini-maze, such as Roxanne's gym, dealing with a small randomized puzzle like the infamous switches in Lieutenant Surge's gym, or ask you to complete a simplistic minigame such as the quizzes in Blaine's and Clement's gyms. These can be split into two camps: immediate and work. The immediate camp composes of gyms that you can take on immediately the moment you walk into town. Think of Misty's gym, Chuck's gym, Brawly's gym, Candace's gym, and Viola's gym, for example. Straight and to the point, but skippable as a result, which may be a problem come badge check time or needing a specific HM. In the work camp, we have things like Lieutenant Surge's gym, Bugsy's gym, Winona's gym, Rourke's gym, and Skyla's gym, for example. These gyms will all require you to do some small task that may or may not be tied to the gym, such as needing to get cut from a seasick captain for Lieutenant Surge's gym, or getting the Devon scope to make that Kecleon get the hell out of a way to get to a shop where you can say, "And I source."
Welcome to our shop! We sell nothing! Come away!
Damn.
The majority of these tasks don't tie to the gym directly, but some do. Such as needing to go through the Cinnabar Mansion to find the key for Blaine's gym before it's Pompeii to a crisp, or helping Jasmine with her Ampharos so she's able to leave its side and return to work. It's a pretty simple setup, but one that can feel pretty aimless at times. I know what I said earlier, but let's go ahead and talk about Generation 7's trial system really quickly. The trials moved away from the fight a powerful gym leader setup and instead had you fight powerful Pokemon after a series of small tasks, such as defeating a number of young goose, or going through an observation minigame, or finding ingredients in a forest. Once you clear all the trials on the island, you can then fight the Kahuna, which serve as your powerful trainer fights. I'm not really too keen on these, as they feel even more aimless than the gyms where you can just waltz right in, especially when not every type has a trial, such as the flying and psychic types. I get the Alolan games go for more of a camaraderie angle, so if you're going to have boss fights, it may as well be against Pokemon themselves, but therein lies the problem. We can just catch and use the regular Pokemon without the matching frame drops. For this system to have paid off, unironically, just make up some exclusive enemies like some of the Pokestar Studios enemies, or the Revavroom adaptations of Generation 9. It just gives a whole bunch of nothing for me. Speaking of Generation 9, that's the last style we'll go over, a style which I'll label as Blend. With Blend, you have both a trial to do as well as a gym leader to fight at the end. On paper, this is a mix of the best of both worlds, but in practice it's pretty hit or miss. The only ones I actually like are Brassius's Sunflora Hunt and Larius' Town Scavenger Hunt, which use the town area decently well. Only problem I have between the two is the frame drops from having a whole bunch of Sunflora for Brassius's, as well as the game in general. Katie's bean game is annoying due to the bean not properly going down the pathway. Iono's Where's Waldo game is cliche. Kofu's feign of having to go to a whole different town across the desert is a misplay. Rhymes is quite literally just winning double battles while enduring rhymes Nicki Minaj could have wrote in pre-K. Tulips is participating in an incredibly simple Wii game you could find on eBay. And Grusha just wants you to do a not at all challenging snowboarding round that's incredibly passe. In fairness to Grusha though, he doesn't actually live in a town and it ties into his backstory, so he gets a pass. The trial's just not fun. There's definitely some attempts to play into personalities or the town here, but the whole experience feels pretty empty by the end of the day. And with that, we've covered all 3 of our styles. So what exactly would I do to improve the gyms? Actually, it's pretty simple. Give them some damn direction and importance. It'll drag a little bit of a replayability department, but given Game Freak's focus lately, after incorporating a big red shiny gimmick button every generation, is the shiny hunting experience. So I think I'm more than fine to Pokeverse storytelling elements, especially since we seem to want to copy Fire Emblem's multiple routes and Zelda's open world atmosphere lately. So, Step 1. After finishing the gym, you'll make your way down the route or routes onward to the next town. About 80% of the way through the last route before town with the gym, someone will stop you, be it needing help or an evil team rushing you down looking for a fight. Whatever the feint is, have a plotline eventually lead into the town itself, either to continue the search/terror or connect with the gym leader. Soon after meeting the gym leader, the quest that took you into the town proper will be concluded, allowing the gym leader to properly introduce themselves, talk about the town a little bit, and welcome you to challenge the gym with a small tease of what's to come. Once you do decide to take on the gym, you'll start by taking on the trial proper, with the trial tying back to the thing that took you into town. For instance, if it's a ground gym and the gym leader's little brother's Growlithe got stuck in a nearby pyramid-shaped ruin, have a trial be a recreation of a battle pyramid from the generation-free Battle Frontier. Or, if the plotline involved figuring out who stole someone's Pokemon, have a trial put those skills to the test further. Have your usual trainers along the way with some small opportunities to skip fights if you feel the desire, then eventually take on the gym leader who should acknowledge the good deed that you've done, or talk about how the thief may have had their reasons but was misguided on how to solve their issue. Once the fight's concluded, if it was a search type thing, have the person who sent you on the quest give you a reward as well as elaborating the importance of finding that Pokemon or item. If it was a criminal type thing, have them also give you a reward, but as an apology, and have them reflect on how poorly they acted and how they could do better in the future. Remember that Pokemon is primarily targeted towards kids, so instilling those lessons of right and wrong, helping out others, goes a long way, especially since they're still selling tens of millions. Later on, you can tie in the actual evil team of a region and have the gym leaders help you out if you so choose. It's all in the storytelling. Something Pokemon has never really done well in the mainline titles, and given the series is primarily an RPG, that's actually really sad. I highly doubt this will make it Game Freak's way, but hey, you never know. And with that, that's how I'd improve the Pokemon gyms. I focus more on the storytelling aspect, but my overall goal was to have things flow smoothly from point A to point B. Whatever changes would you make to the gyms, or do you think they're fine as is? Let me know down in the comments. Just please be respectful to differing opinions. Remember to leave a like and subscribe to see more of the channel. Coming up next in the scripted department is another Pokemon video, this time looking at all the remaining Kanto lines without new evolutions or forms, and how I'd go about doing all that. Until then, my name is JoyPal, signing out. See ya!